Okay, Friday second day of new sketchbook. Like I said before, I saw this deer. It's a roe deer. I really like them, but I'm crappy at them. So I'm going to practice them until I get the handle of them. Today I'm gonna be drawing the entire page, only one drawing. And since it's gonna be big, I'm going to just use the entire page because there's not much time left for daylight. And normally I like sketching in the dark, but of course for a video the quality goes way off. Maybe later on I'll continue with lights. However, I'm trying to be eco-friendly here and use the least lamps possible. So I prefer to do everything now. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have like 40 minutes. I'm also expecting my brother-in-law to come visit, so as soon as he will come by, I'm not gonna be spending time drawing anymore, at least not in the beginning, because we're gonna have dinner. So that will be fun, especially because he just came back from Germany from visiting my mom, and he probably brought me gifts, and I'm always super excited to see what they bring me apart from paint. I think I messed up. Anyway, I'm doing a rough sketch with a colored pencil, with the red one in this case. I was looking for a normal mechanical pencil, but I just couldn't find one right now, so I don't want to waste any time on that for now. I'm just going to concentrate on getting a rough idea of where everything should be. Yeah, and I'll just roll with this. I'm also going to try to draw the hoofs today because they're really cute. Later on I'll worry about the details. Right now I'm just trying to get a rough idea of where everything should be, and I'm also not worrying too much about size and how accurate everything is, but practice makes perfect, and I guess eventually I will end up with something that I like. I'm not talking about today. When I say eventually, I say, well, in a month's time or even later. Normally I tend to get a bit obsessed with things in general. When I want to learn something or when I draw something, I get obsessive, and then I just draw that thing over and over and over until I kind of like it, or I can do it without using a reference image. Right now I'm using image stock, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it's called. That's where I found it. It's just jumping deer, roe deer, and yeah, the shape of this deer goes like down and then in a triangle. However, I don't know why that does not look good to me. Anyway, I'll just have to roll with it for now. Then the ears go like outwards, and they have this diamond shape. I don't know if I'm right about it, but that's what I see. That's what I'll go with. In the beginning I actually said that this sketchbook was going to be a bit stress-free, and I would just draw random stuff without pressuring myself into them. However, since I've started, I would like to at least one or two more days just concentrate on roe deers, since I chose them. Tomorrow I'll probably move on to another type of a deer, or I'll choose a different page. Well, I don't know yet. However, for now I'm just going to concentrate on this one because that's my object of choice. Actually, I did say that tomorrow, or maybe the day after tomorrow, since it's gonna be a weekend, I'm going to have more time that I can dedicate to drawing, and I would like to draw my cat. I don't know why. I've had my cat for more than a year now, and I have, no, not more than a year. I received her on Halloween, so I've had her for almost a year, but I've never drawn her, nor my other one. My other one is almost 2 years old, and I haven't drawn her either. So maybe it's time to draw them. Okay, I'll move on to colored pencils. I'm gonna start with the darker parts, just so I can give it a little bit of an idea of where I want to go with this. This leg should be slanted inwards a little bit, so it should be here. More inwards. And then this one goes outside. There's some hair here, lots of muscles. So light hits in the picture that I'm seeing. The light comes from this side, so the harshest darks are going to be on this side, on this leg, and in between these legs, and well, mainly this side. So I'm going to try to get that under control. If you guys see that I get quiet for a while, it's because I get in trance. I don't know if that's a good way of saying it. I just get into my trance mode where I just draw without realizing that I'm supposed to talk a lot. Okay. Then I will also have to pay attention to the lightest parts of this animal. This one is almost like a triangle. I don't know why I find it really weird. Does not look good to me. I feel like it should be more rounded. Maybe like this. And this one should be a bit rounded too. Well, let's roll with what we have. Then I'm probably just gonna use the rest to draw, I don't know, birds, because I really like them. Or we'll just scroll it a little bit and we'll see what we find interesting, especially my Pinterest boards. As soon as I open it, they suggest me stuff, so it's pretty much stuff that I like pinning. It can be animals, it can be food, it can be wedding stuff. So I'm just gonna go with that. This here is quite harsh too. Then the hooves are almost like a rounded shape with a little bit of a space in between them. This one I made a mess. Okay, just gonna leave the space between them and just fill them in. Okay, there's a little bit of dark here. This is just a cast shade. I'm not sure if I said it correctly. Yeah, and then this here, I mean, the difference between this deer, as far as I know, I haven't paid very much attention to deer so far. I know baby deers are cute because, I mean, come on, who doesn't love Bambi? And who hasn't cried with Bambi when they were little? At least I do remember that was kind of traumatic for me. And, well, I'm a teacher, so when the kids asked for Bambi, I said, no, I will not. I need permission from your parents before I play that movie for you guys, because, oof, at least for me it was traumatic. I cried a lot. I felt like that was cruel and life was not worth living for a while. Anyway, body, I feel like this should be a bit bigger. However, I'll leave it alone for now. I'm gonna move on to a brown, a medium brown. Let's see, I have burnt ochre or brown ochre. I feel like I should start with the brown ochre and then we'll move on to burnt, into reds, into yellows. I'm pretty much going to roughly shade wherever I see brown, which, surprise, this is a deer. It's gonna have brown almost everywhere. However, what I mean by brown is like a pronunciated one, like one that you can see obviously, you know. There's like different, well, whoever's watching this, you probably already know there's different types of brown and different hues. So I'm not gonna give you a lesson about colors right now. However, I do feel like there's like soft brown here, soft brown here. This should be white, and then these here are just soft browns. So by applying layers and layers of color, I will eventually get to that soft brown and to a darker brown. So I prefer to build up color instead of just putting it in a spot and just leaving it be. Why? Just because I prefer it. I think it looks good to me. There's no, I don't have any theory behind it. I just like building up colors little by little, just because I feel like they look more natural to me. My baby cat just came by. Well, I'm gonna show you guys. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, she's just sitting on the bench with me. She's like, "Mommy, can I give you company?" Building colors little by little. And for example, these paws, they're like a light brown. This one is a light brown. This one is darker brown. So I'm just going to build up the shade, the color, little by little, until I'm happy with it. Now, if this one turns out okay, then I'm happy. If this one turns like crap, I'm also happy. As long as I'm sketching every day. That's the goal behind this sketchbook. It's just not to worry too much about what I'm doing and just roll with it. Just get back into that groove where I just sketch for the pleasure of it, not because I feel forced to do it. And of course I do have my other sketchbooks, but keep in mind that whenever I sketch for pleasure, I tend to sketch birds and butterflies and faces of girls, and I pretty much leave it at that, the face, and flowers, but only a certain type of flowers, like gladiolas and dahlias and roses. So I think I should be stepping away, and tulips. I think I should be stepping away from that and just find stuff that maybe I haven't drawn yet. Not because I don't like to draw them, but because I have not paid attention to them. Anyway, moving on to a softer brown, and this one is kind of dull, so it's gonna need some sharpening. Okay. Now that it's done, I'm gonna start adding soft browns to wherever I see it on paper, and then trying to mix colors up a little bit. These parts, I'm gonna leave them blank for now, just because they're kind of white on paper, in the picture that I'm seeing. So I want to leave them white for now and not to worry about them too much. I don't know why I feel like this face should be a bit slender here. However, I do not see it slender in the picture. I see like a straight line, almost a straight line. So I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Yeah, I hope eventually it will blend together. Maybe I started bad by starting with the red color, because now I'm getting very distracted by it. But once again, this sketchbook is just for me to try new things and for me to sketch every day, so I'll just roll with it. I'm gonna leave it alone and just carry on. There's not much light left. I hope to be able to do this before, well, actually I'm gonna turn on the light already. Because it's getting way too dark. Okay, there's this trick to making things seem a bit more realistic, where you pretty much, when you shade in the direction it's supposed to, you're supposed to see it in the picture. And I think I might have to use it for this, just to make it look a little bit more like a deer, because right now it doesn't really look like one, at least not if you ask me. Oh, and that's another thing that I'm going to do starting now. Normally whenever I sketch or I draw and drawing looks like crap, I just tend to throw it away. But this year, and in general with this sketchbook at least, I'm not going to worry. And then that's also one of the reasons why I haven't uploaded in a while, or every time I upload and then I stop uploading for a while. It's because I'm really not happy with my sketches. So this time I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna care about what it actually looks like, and I'll just upload it, because maybe whatever I see ugly, somebody will find it beautiful, or somebody will find it inspiring. And even if I'm not happy, like, I would never even dare to take this into public and say, well, look, this is my art. I actually think it's good, and I should be less afraid of uploading things just because I think they're bad looking. So I'm just gonna go with it and not really care. You can think of me what you want. You're free to think it, and you're free to say it. Actually, you can comment all you want in the comment box in the description below. I will not allow people to use foul words or insult others. However, if you think my drawing looks like crap, you're probably right. So I'll let you do that. So I just want you guys to know that you can comment on my drawings. Just don't be mean. Don't be rude. Okay, so now more or less browns are in. I'm gonna start adding here a little bit. This one needs more dark here and here. Yeah, I'm getting really distracted by this red. And it's actually making me think twice about if I'm finished or not. I'll just add more color, more dark. In here should be something like this, and just enjoy the process. Okay, moving on to reds. I'll just use a warm red. This one is light cadmium red, just to accent a bit more of the darks. Then I'll probably move on with a blue or a green. Well, I think green is kind of harsh for this. I'll probably either use blue or black, just to mix in the browns. And I think it's actually taking shape. It's starting to look like a deer a little bit. So I think we're on the good track here. I just have not to worry about it too much. Yeah, outside it's already dark. Quality of the video is probably not gonna be the best anymore. And you probably have like a casted shade all over from the pencil, but it is what it is, and I'm not going to not allow myself to upload videos every day because of this reason. I prefer to upload a load of crap and maybe one or two gems in the way than not uploading anything and feeling bad about myself. I'll probably go over this drawing with a pen when I'm finished, just so I can enhance some colors a bit more. But it's already looking kind of cute. At least the face looks a bit cuter than in the beginning, because I thought it looked kind of creepy. I still think it looks kind of creepy, but it looks better than in the beginning, at least in my humble opinion, and at least for now it's the only opinion there is. Well, I hope you guys comment. For example, give me advice on what colors I should use to make more beautiful browns, or what you guys use as backgrounds in general, because I don't like the faded, just like blurry stuff. I like to actually place them in things, and well, this one should be hiding behind a tree, or with flowers behind, or I don't know, hawks trying to attack them, or a lion. Well, yeah, lions are another thing that I haven't practiced in a very, very long time. Probably the last lion I've drawn, painted, not drawn, because the last one was an oil painting, was 6 years ago. That's been a long time. It was a female lion with an open mouth. Very, very beautiful. However, I don't even know if I gave that drawing away, painting. If I sold it, I don't even know where it is right now, so yeah. Oh, in general, I do not sell my paintings unless they are commissioned. Like, if people ask me, hey, can you draw this for my kid? How much will you charge? And in general, I do it for kids or for girls, as presents. Like, if somebody will tell me I would like to give this to my kid, I would tell you, well, give me 3 months, because sometimes I get lazy, and I'll draw you whatever, and then I charge very, very little. I've also been told not to do that, but I do not feel like my art is at that level where I can charge people a lot and feel good about it, not feel bad. So I prefer to do me. It's not like I'm gonna destroy anybody's life by charging them a little bit less. Maybe that's a bad thing, but for now I feel kind of bad every time somebody asks me, and if I would tell them, I don't know, like charge me 10 euros for every hour I work, plus supplies, plus time, the time I spend in starting to learning how to draw something. So I prefer to just say, hey, give me 20 or give me 30 and that's it, forget about it. And maybe I end up spending, I don't know, weeks on that drawing, meaning like tens of hours, but I don't charge them just because I also learn and I also feel less controlled. For example, when people pay you a lot, they expect a lot from you, and then clients in general, they tend to change their mind, or they see it one way. They don't realize that you have your own perspective and that, well, whatever they might ask. For example, I've had people who asked me to paint Picasso on a roof, and I ended up doing it, but it was painful for me just because it's not my way of painting. I'm going on with a nugget. I'm not sure how to pronounce this one. Like I told you guys, English is my second language. So if I make pronunciation mistakes, bear with me and forgive me. I'm still learning. I'm learning every day. Oh, this looks like a little bit like a reindeer, at least in my opinion, so I'm not totally unhappy with it. No, it looks kind of creepy and deformed, yes. Was it the best idea to just do one face fronting and front facing and on two legs? No, but I'll roll with it. Now that I have it, I'm just gonna keep on drawing and keep on trying to make it better. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop now. I'm just gonna take a pen and draw like little details, especially for example in the eyes, because I feel like the eyes are the most beautiful feature in every creature. No, that sounded like a poem. I shall be called Mirella the poet now. Nah, I'm kidding. And I feel like the nose is kind of messed up. She's got like a smiley face, and then there's this hoop here. And then here there's also like, I don't know, it's because the snout has like sweat or some mucus on it. I'm just gonna add it, this accent. I'm going to make the horns super thin. And maybe I made them a bit too long for this kind of animal, because they're not that long. However, I'll roll with it. I'm going to make the ears. I do like line drawing. You might not realize it here, but I do like it very much. And then there's also here a little bit. Then the neck is not so narrow there, should be more straight. Maybe I made it too long. Yeah, maybe this animal is too elongated. then here are the muscles. You can see the main part of the stomach, and this is part of the leg. I can't see the hooves in the back, but I guess they're gonna be something like this. I'm just gonna roll with it. And I see some hairs here that I can't really see. This one does narrow a little bit in the center, so I'm gonna do that. I also see this here. This is part of the leg. Here you can also see a part of the leg. I think I shot myself in the foot for sketching with the red pencil, because now I find it difficult not to be distracted by it. You know how they always like to use red pencil, blue pencil? I do like to use them too when I use gouache, when I use watercolor, because you can see them less than graphite, less than gray. However, in this case, I made it a bit more difficult for myself instead of making it easier. Then this one should be something like this. Okay, there's some hairs here, some hairlines. But this looks pretty good if you ask me. It's not that bad for being a second day that I'm trying this. And I shall spend a bit more time in my other sketchbook of animals just to practice a little bit more. And since tomorrow I only have to work for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, I'll have the rest of the day just to do some cleanup and to enjoy sketching and having fun. You can already see there's some improvement. You can already see some improvement from this face to this scary ugly face here. This already looks more like a deer, so at least I'm happy with that. I'm trying to get this to be a bit darker. However, I think that if I add black, maybe I'm going to make a mistake. So I'm just gonna add purple instead. I know not many would use purple with browns to get darker colors, but I feel like it works. And then the casted shadow here, also a little bit here. Yeah, this one is just gonna go down all the way here. And then, yeah, just place it all over wherever I see darks. For now, I'm not able to draw this from my imagination. I mean, without using reference. In general, for me to draw an animal without looking at any reference, such as, well, horses, it pretty much took me years. And I think it started as a bet. Somebody told me that's like the hardest animal to draw, and I was like, really? They're like, yeah, you know, it takes a long time to learn how to draw them without using reference images. And it did cost me a lot, and it still does sometimes. I mean, the ones that I draw from my head are not totally like horses. They look unnatural because I tend to draw big eyes and big noses and big heads and then tiny bodies. However, they're much better than they were years ago. And it's like I said, it took me about a year and a half to start to draw them without looking continuously at one. And then I just had to keep on going. And then birds and butterflies, well, they're pretty much easy to do if you practice. Like I said, practice makes perfect. Oh, this one already looks a little bit better. I think I'm gonna stop drawing it for now because I feel like if I draw more, I'm gonna mess it up. I prefer to be happy with what I have right now and leave it alone will probably carry on tomorrow or Sunday. I would like to draw my cat, like I said before. For now, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. I'll probably continue later on to draw some birds and some flowers off camera, just because now I have to get myself ready for some visits. I hope you guys like it. I know it's kind of simple, but I'm on a time crunch. And when I'm on a time crunch, I prefer to draw something simple rather than not draw anything at all. So I hope you guys like it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.